Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Muriel, and in this video I will be doing the mid-year book freakout tag, or just the mid-year book tag really, 2022 edition. You'll know what this tag is about, so I'm going to jump straight into the questions, starting with question number 1. What is the best book that you've read so far this year? Discounting rereads, that would be Elder Race, a novella written by none other than Adrian Tchaikovsky. It was just perfect, basically. There's no such thing as perfect, but you know what I mean. Emotionally impactful and thematically rich little tale exploring Arthur C. Clarke's third law of science fiction and the experience of severe chronic depression, all within a storytelling atmosphere that reminded me of blessed Ursula K. Le Guin's fiction. Question number 2. What is the best sequel you've read so far this year? So this is going to be a bit of a cheat answer, but I'm going to go with Authority and Acceptance. Books 2 and 3 in the Southern Reach trilogy, written by Jeff Vandermeer. I reread the trilogy this year, and well, those are the only sequels I've read so far this year. Question number 3. A new release you haven't read yet but want to. That would be Gender Critical Feminism, written by Holly Lawford Smith. Published by Oxford University Press. I'm pretty sure it'll be as good, if not better, than Kathleen Stock's Material Girls and Helen Joyce's Trans, When Ideology Meets Reality. Also, as an aside, this book, I don't know why, but the weighted feel of it is so good. I suppose I could add KKE, written by Vaishnavi Patel, and When Women Were Dragons, written by Kelly Barnhill, but it's more likely I'll read them next year rather than this year, so they're semi-answers, I guess. They semi-count is what I meant. Question number 4. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Assuming it's still coming out this year, Volume 10 of Saga. Otherwise, I'll go with What Moves the Dead, a The Fall of the House of Usher retelling written by T. Kingfisher. Though, to be honest here, I just learned about it recently and haven't, been eagerly anticipating it for months or anything like that. I've never read anything by T. Kingfisher, or, also known as Ursula Vernon, but that one intrigues me. It looks fairly short, so yes. Question number 5. What has been your biggest disappointment so far? Probably Aaliyah Whiteley's Skyward Inn. It was too weird in the wrong way for even my tastes. There wasn't enough world building, and it features a concept I really don't like, which is positively portrayed hive minds or entities. Question number 6. What has been your biggest surprise so far? Maybe Normal People by Sally Rooney, because I was surprised by how much I loved it and was impacted by it. Or perhaps the 2 novels I read by Ian Banks, so Wit and The Wasp Factory, because I was surprised by the quirky nature of their stories and by how much I could actually relate to the main characters, especially in Wit. Manhunt, written by Gretchen Falcon Martin, could qualify as well, I suppose, in the sense that I was surprised by just how bad and ridiculous it actually was. Question number 7. A favorite new author, debut or new to you? A friendly reminder that it takes a lot for me to consider an author a favorite of mine, given how much I separate art from the artist and given how little I tend to admire, much less adulate, creators. So I have no answer for this question. Question number 8. What is your newest fictional crush? I got Bumkiss because I don't really do fictional crushes. Next. Question number 9. Newest favorite character? Always a tough question for the autistic and non-character driven reader that I am. I guess Marianne from Normal People could qualify given how much I identified with her, but I also really liked Alice, especially in relation to Quentin Coldwater in The Magicians, written by Lev Grossman as well, and Isis Wit in the eponymous novel by Ian Banks. Question number 10, a book that made you cry. So I have 2 answers for this one. The Magicians made me tear up a bit at times, but the medal here definitely goes to this bitch. It absolutely wrecked my poor little heart, and I had a meltdown when I finished it. True story. Question number 11, a book that made you happy. Once again, I don't really do happy reads. I mean, as I probably stated in last year's mid-year book tag, I generally get a sense of contentment from reading a really good book, so that's a positive feeling, most certainly, but fine. I guess The Bird Way, written by Jennifer Ackerman, made me happy in the sense I got to read about burbs, and I love me some burbs. Immune by Philippe Detmer was also amusing at times in its presentation, so I'll throw that in as well. Question number 12. What is the most beautiful book you have bought so far? Discounting my Folio Society edition of the Game of Thrones, which I haven't actually unboxed yet, because reasons, I'd probably go with this one for the cover. So this is Hummingbird Salamander, written by Jeff Vandermeer, which I haven't yet read. Or this one for the content, Literary Witches. It's another book I recently bought. I haven't read yet, but it looks really nice inside, but I'll talk about it more when I actually do get around to it. And as an aside, I really do like the cover illustration for this edition of The Magicians, but it's unforgivably marred by this stupid thing. Also, you might have noticed an influx of new printed books, so I just might do a book haul in the near future as well. Question number 13 and the last one of this tag. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? So for this, I'm simply going to mention the novels that are left on my official 2022 TBR, though I will be reading other things beside them throughout the rest of the year as well. So there is Hollow Kingdom, written by Kira Jane Buxton, Hummingbird Salamander, written by Jeff Vandermeer, Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, written by Gail Honeyman, Lost Gods, written by Brom, I'm actually reading it right now, Revelation Space, written by Alistair Reynolds, which is also one of David's picks for my TBR, The Secret History, written by Donna Tartt, another one my ex David put on my TBR, Weave World, written by Clive Barker, another one David put on my TBR, and also Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, written by Susanna Clarke, of course, the first arc, at least, of the Book of the New Sun, Shadow and Claw, written by Gene Wolfe, The Killing Moon, written by N.K. Jemisin. If I like it, I will follow through with the second one. Senlin Ascends, written by Josiah Bancroft, Black Sun, written by Rebecca Roanhorse, Dreaming the Eagle, written by Amanda Scott, and the Wolf Hall trilogy, written by Hilary Mantel, which was, again, gifted to me by David. I also might read House of Leaves. Yes. That one. Buddy read it, actually, with my childhood friend. We'll see if he has the time, because he is a med student, and they treat them like slaves. So that was the mid-year book tag 2022 edition. I hope you enjoyed the video, quite simply. I hope you'll have a lovely day, evening, or whichever time of day you prefer. If you want to share your answers, you can as well in the comments down below. Do take good care of yourselves. Thank you for the continued support, and I shall see you all, I don't know exactly when, in another video. Bye-bye.